Brahma Puranam is one of the 18 major Puranas. This is a prayer from that Purana on page 128 of Universal Prayers, the top first one on that page 128. Om Yam Dhyayanti Buddha Samadhi Samaye Shuddham Yat Sannibham Nityanandamayam Prasannamamalam Sarveshwaram Nirgunam Vyakta Vyaktaparam Prapancharahitam Dhyaneka Gamyam Vibhum Tam Samsar Vinashahetumajaram Vande Harim Mukidam. I offer my salutations to the Lord, the destroyer of all worldliness and bestower of salvation, the undecaying and infinite being, the one who is attainable through meditation alone, who is free from illusion and beyond the manifest and the unmanifest, the one who is of the form of bliss eternal, who is gracious, taintless, and without any attributes, who is the overlord, the one who is pure and limitless like the ether, and who is contemplated in samadhi by the wise. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Chapter 18. We have to begin with sloka number 50. Before we do that, let's go back to number 49, where Bhagavan Sri Krishna talks about how to become free from work. The term used is Naishkarmya Siddhi. This is a very important technical term, Naishkarmya Siddhi. Siddhi means perfection. Karma means action. Naishkarmya means inaction, absence of action. Naishkarmya Siddhi. Perfection in inaction means what? Confusing term. But the meaning was explained in the 18th verse of chapter 4, 4:18, long time ago. What is Naishkarmya Siddhi was explained there. But we didn't use the word Naishkarmya Siddhi there. In chapter 4, verse 18, Sri Krishna described a jnani or a yogi who has become free from the notion of doership. I am the doer, is not there. At the same time, such a person is very active, performing all duties and serving others. The term used, the phrase used there in 418 was Karmani Akarma Yah Pashyet. That's how the sloka begins, 418. Karmani means in action, while performing action. Akarma means not doing anything. Pashyet. That means a person is performing all actions mostly for the sake of other people, helping other people, guiding other people. But at the same time, that person does not have the notion that I am the doer. That person says work is happening, and the body mind happen to be the instruments. I'm not those. I'm the Atma. If a person has that self-knowledge, who has transcended body consciousness, then such a person may be very active, but does not have the feeling that I am the doer. Work is happening. How is work happening? Is explained in chapter 5, 8 and 9. Sloka 8 and 9. Jnani says, if you ask Jnani, you are doing all these activities, but you say you are not the doer. Vivekanchit Karomi. Chapter 5, Sloka 8 and 9. Then the Jnani says, all actions are happening between sense organs and sense objects. Indriyani indriyartheshu vartante iti dharayan. So that's where all actions happen. The Jnani says, I am neither the indriyas nor the sense objects, neither the senses nor the sense objects. I am the Atman. If one person has such an experience of being the self, then that person is totally free from work. Work is happening, but he or she has no notion that he or she is the doer. Work is happening. That state of awareness where a person does not have the feeling that he is the worker, though work is happening through such a person, that state of awareness is called Naishkarmya Siddhi. That is being described in verse 49 in chapter 18. Naishkarmya Siddhim Paramam Sanyasena Adhigacchati. How is it possible? If I am doing some work, I know that I am doing some work. I am aware that I am doing some work. That means if I think I am the body, mind, senses, then I am doing some work. All work is happening at that level. Body, mind, sense organ, sense object level. As long as I am aware of the body, as long as I think I am the body, mind, ego, then I have kartritvam, notion that I am the doer. If I am the doer, then what is the problem? If I say I am the doer, if you are the doer, you are the experience of the result of work, but result of work also will come. If you do the work, the karma phala also will come to you. So that good or bad, that we have to go through. So we are bound in the cycle of karma phala, as long as we are at the body-mind awareness level. If you want to transcend this and experience your true divine nature, then at that stage, if one does that one, then there is no karma phala. But work is happening. That was explained in the two slokas 8 and 9 in chapter 5. Jnani performing all actions, yet says, I am not doing anything. And if you ask him, you are doing all these things, how can you say you are not doing anything? He says, all actions are happening between sense organs and sense objects. Indriyani, indriyartheshu vartante. That state of awareness, when work is happening through a person, but that person has no kartritvam, does not feel the burden of work. So much work he has, such a person. That person is said to have Naishkarmya Siddhi, very high state of awareness. Naishkarmya Siddhi is very high level of awareness when a person transcends body consciousness, becomes aware of his divine nature. That is being described in sloka number 49. How to get that one, that state of awareness? That is how to get self-knowledge where one does not feel that he is the worker while action is happening. Is explained briefly in 49. Asakta buddhi sarvatra vijitatma vigataspraha neshkarmya siddhim paramam sanyasena adhigacchati. Sarvatra means in all fields of life, every field of activity. Sarvatra, everywhere. Asakta buddhi. Buddhi means intellect. Asakta means uninvolved, unattached. Attachment is the cause of the notion I am the doer. I, a body mind, am the doer. That is attachment. Detachment, asakta buddhi means I'm not the body mind, I am the Atman, no work. So Atman cannot do any work, pure consciousness. So that detachment from body, mind, and intellect, ego, everything, that is the highest state of awareness. Asakta buddhi, he is such a person whose buddhi, intellect is unattached to all objects and karma. That person does not say, this is my house, no attachment to possessions. That person does not say, this is my body. That person does not say, this is my work. Work is happening. Person may have a house. Person has a body, has a house, money, everything. Like Janaka. This Janaka king is a perfect example of a person who was totally detached. He had Naiskarmya Siddhi. How did he do that one? He had a whole kingdom to administer, and he had this palace, capital, queen, and other things that a king has. He was doing the work of administering the whole kingdom, taking care of the subjects. At the same time, he was a Brahmajnani. He was knower of Brahman. He had overcome all this ignorance that I am the body mind. That person was doing a lot more work than any other ordinary person. An ordinary person has a job to do and one family to maintain. But Janaka had the whole kingdom to maintain. At the same time, is totally detached. Such state of awareness is called Naishkarmya Siddhi. How to achieve that one? This is explained briefly in 49. Asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma. Jitatma means, Atma here means body, mind, sense organs. As we know, Atma means can mean different things. Atma can mean the individual jiva, individual self. Atma can mean Paramatma. Atma can mean mind. Atma can mean body. So controlling Jitatma means controlling body, mind, sense organs. Very important thing that we studied in the second chapter. When we studied the qualities of a Sthita Prajna, the main quality is controlling sense organs, Indriyani, Niyamya. So controlling sense organs. Next one is Vigata Spriha. Spriha means desire. Desire to have something, desire to do something, desire to enjoy something. All these desires, a person must have given up. Vigata Spriha, one who is free from desires. Desire is a sign of imperfection. If you may ask, what is the problem if I have desire? If I have desire to make more money, is it a problem? Is it, I will make money through dharmic means. I'm not going to cheat and steal. I'll work hard and make money. What is the problem if I have desire to make more money? The problem is you think that if you make more money, that will bring you happiness. That means you are not happy right now. A person is not happy right now. Something is missing in that person's life. It's either money or a child or a job or a house or whatever is missing that makes the person unhappy, incomplete. That feeling of being incomplete is what is called desire. So when do all the desires go away? When a person feels complete. A person, he or she feels, I am perfect already. There's nothing more that can make me happy. I'm already happy. Ananda, I'm enjoying. There's nothing more that can bring me more happiness. The state of Satchidananda, experiencing one's blissful nature, that I am the Atma. Devotees also have that same freedom from desire. A person who has pure devotion, that person says, I'm a devotee of God. Devotion brings me so much joy that no other thing in the world can bring. Have that devotion. A person who has pure devotion is also joyful, does not require anything. Na shochati na kankshati. Does not want anything, is already fully happy with love for God. Love for God brings much more happiness than anything else that this world can bring. So, devotee is free from desires. Whatever the Lord provides with that I am happy. That is a devotee's attitude. Jnani has no desire. I'm already Satchidananda. What more do I need to make me happier? So, Vigata Spriha means either a person who has pure devotion to God, not having any hankering for anything, or a person who has self-knowledge, I am the Brahma, I am Atman, I am Brahman, I am Brahmasmi. These kinds of people have no desire at all. Akama hataha. In the Upanishad, the term used is akamahataha, are not afflicted by desire. Desire is an affliction, feeling of incomplete. I don't have this, I want to have this. That is desire. There is nothing that can bring a person happiness if that person has self-knowledge or pure devotion. Such a person may be performing a lot of action, doing a lot of actions, but still does not have notion that I am the doer. Work is happening, but I am not the doer. Nishkarma siddhi. Such a person, asakta buddhihi, sarvatra jitatma vigata spraha, nishkarma siddhim paramam, sanyasinadi gachas. A person through renunciation, sanyasena, renouncing karma phala, achieves nishkarma siddhi, freedom from action and the result of action. That is the highest state of awareness. Otherwise, people like us, we have no notion, I'm the doer, I'm speaking, I'm eating, I'm talking, walking. So that is awareness of the body-mind awareness. At that level we are, but you have to go to that level. That was explained in chapter 4, verse 18. There, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Karmani akarma yah pashyet. When performing actions, a person has no notion that he is the doer. Work is happening. How is work happening? Indriyani indriyarteshu vartante. All actions are happening between sense organs and sense objects, neither of which I am free. That is the state of awareness called Nishkarma Siddhi. But it is a very high goal. What about people like us who cannot reach the stage right now? We have body consciousness. We have the notion that I am the doer. So what we should do? What is the solution? I can't achieve Nishkarma Siddhi overnight right now. But I am stuck with this notion I am the doer. So what am I supposed to do? For people like us, Bhagavan Sri Krishna has given several alternatives. All of that we studied earlier in Karma Yoga topic. One alternative is to keep the notion I am the doer, all right, aham karta, but I am doing it as an offering to God. Offer everything to me, whatever you do, Sri Krishna said. Several places in the Gita, Bhagavan said, whatever you do, offer it to me. That means if I offer my work, though I am the doer, I am offering it to God, so I am free from attachment to that work. I can become free from attachment to work I do by offering it to the Lord. Why should I offer? Does he need our work? No. For me to become detached, offering is done out of love. That is one way. I am the doer, but I am offering everything I do to God. Maya sarvani karmani sanyasya. That chapter 3, sloka number 30. All this we studied before. We are collecting them all together here. Also, chapter 9, sloka 27, very important sloka 927. Whatever you do, offer it to me. Yat karoshi, yadashnasi, yad juhoshi, dadasi, yat 927. Yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurusha madarpanam. Do it as an offering to me, madarpanam. That way we become free from attachment to karma and karma phala, while still retaining the notion I am the doer. That is open to us. We can do. Not easy. How to offer? Chetasa, sarva karmani, sanyasa, mentally only. Physically, how can we give anything to God? Mentally, in our mind, we should say, Lord, I am doing this work. I am offering it to you. Please accept this. I have no more attachment to this work. I am giving it to you. Giving means becoming attachment, free from attachment to that, what we give. One way. It's not difficult to do. Mentally only it has to be done. Chetasa. Another way to become free from attachment to work is to all work as worship. In worship, we offer things to God without asking anything in return. So where did we study that one? Bhagavan Sri Krishna said, whatever work you do, if you do it as worship, you will become free, you will become perfect. 46 sloka, just 3 slokas before. There he said, Yatoh pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tamabhyarcham siddham vindati manavaha. So karma means our own duty. Whatever we have to do. Does not matter what duty. Tam abhyarcha. By worshipping him, how? By doing our so karma is worship. There is no separate worship. Separate worship is going to temple, offering some puja, Ashtottara puja, chanting 108 names and offering flowers, everything. That is one kind of puja. That also has to be done. But this worship, whatever I do is worship. I'm speaking, it is worship. You are listening, that is worship. Sometime later we are going to eat, that is worship. Yadashnasi specifically, Lord has said, if everything I do is worship, then I'm always worshipping God. Every breath I take is worship of God. Every step I take is worship of God. That we know, earlier study. So 927, by doing whatever you do as offering to me or as worship, you become free from attachment to karma phala. So those are the things that we can do. Ultimate is Naishkarma Siddhi, totally giving up notion I am the doer. One more thing can be done by people like us, because we have the notion I am the doer, I cannot give it up right away. So what is my role? In the 11th chapter of the Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna has said, you do your duty as an instrument in my hand, I am the doer. The Lord himself clearly says, I am the doer. God is the doer. And what is my role then? Being only an instrument. Whatever work he makes me do, I'll do that work according to his will. He gets it done through me. I happen to be the instrument. That is my role. Where did he say that one? Chapter 11, sloka number 33. There, Arjuna was thinking, I'm the doer. How can I kill Bhishma, Drona, Arjuna? If I don't kill, they will kill me. Otherwise, I will have to kill them. All these things, questions Arjuna had. Sri Krishna tells him, you think you are the doer, Arjuna? Forget it, I am the doer. Very clearly he said that one. 11:33. Bhagavan says, you are not the doer, I am the doer. Then what is your role? Still Arjuna has a role to play. Nimitta matram bhava, just be an instrument in my hand. I am the doer. See, this is a very important shloka in 11:33. So we can take that attitude also. I am only the instrument, God is the doer. But I have to be as good an instrument as I can be in his hands. Whatever role God gives me, I have to do it very well. That is my worship. 11:33, Bhagavan says, Tasmat tamuttishta yasho labasva jitva shatrun bhangsharajyam samriddham mayaivete nigata purvameva. Nimitta matram bhava savyasachat. The second line there, Maya eva, by me alone, ete sarve. All these people, Bhishma, Dvana, Karna, Arjuna, Duryodhana, not Arjuna, Bhishma, Dvana, Karna, Duryodhana, all these people, Maya eva purvama nihataha, already been killed by me. The Lord is saying that one, Krishna is saying that one. Then what is your role? Nimitta matram bhava, just be the instrument, go through the motions. I am the doer. Don't think that you are the doer. We still have a role to play, being instrument in my hand. If I refuse to be the instrument in his hand, he has got 1,000 other better instruments through which he can get his work done. His work will not stop. If I don't do the work allotted to me, his work, that work will be done by somebody else in a better way, better person. So I have to play the role with gratitude. Thank you for making me the instrument in your hands. I'll try to be the best instrument I can be. You are the doer. That is another attitude. See how many alternatives are there. And then finally, that I am the doer, I am the instrument, that also goes away. Nashkarma Siddhi, Lord is the doer. And work happens through sense organ, sense object. I am neither of them. Karmani, akarma, yah pasya. So these are all the various stages we can study, we have to study, and eventually become free from this notion of doership, Nishkarma Siddhi, we have to achieve. There is a final stage. In between, these simpler steps are available to us. Doing everything as worship, doing everything as offering, and being the instrument, best instrument can be in the Lord's hands. That is Nishkarma Siddhi. Now, in the 50, sloka 50 onwards, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, what steps to take to reach the stage of perfection, Siddhi. So this takes us back to sloka number 46 in 18th chapter. In sloka 46 in 18th chapter, Bhagavan Sri Krishna had said that by doing all your work as worship, you will achieve perfection. Sakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha. The very important line, 1846. Sakarmana, by doing my own work, abhyarcha as worship, tamabhyarcha, worshipping him, the Lord. What happens? Manavaha siddhim vindati. Human being achieves perfection. Now, what is perfection there? Commenting on the word perfection in the sloka 1846, Shankaracharya had said, perfection means purity of mind, making the mind free from attachment and hatred and jealousy, lust, greed, etc., making the mind free from these impurities. And then with that purity of mind, you can achieve God realization or self-knowledge, either devotion or either bhakti or jnana. Either of them can come only when you purify the mind, make our mind free from lust, anger, greed, pride, jealousy, fear, etc. How to achieve that purity of mind? By doing all work as worship. See, these are 3 steps. First step is to purify the mind. Then only any spiritual progress can happen. How to purify the mind? Simplest way is to do all our work as worship. So karmana tamabhyarcha. Mind becomes pure. Pure means no attachment, no lust, desire for a sensory enjoyment. All those things are given up. Mind becomes calm and pure. With that pure and calm mind, we can achieve God realization. So in this sloka 50 onwards, Bhagavan is going to describe after achieving purity of mind. Siddhim praptaha. Sloka number 50. Siddhim is purity of mind. After having achieved purity of mind, how? By doing all work as worship. So karmanathamabhyarcha. Then we still have to realize God. Purity of mind is a requirement. It's not the ultimate goal. It's a means. Purity of mind is a means to achieve God realization, atmajnana or devotion. That we still have to achieve the highest goal. How to do that one? After having purified our mind, by doing all our work as worship, siddhim praptaha, yatha brahma apnoti. How a person can achieve Brahma Jnana? That is going to be explained. We still have to do several steps. First step is purifying the mind. How? By doing the work as worship. Then one stage is reached. With the purity of mind, we still have to do certain things to achieve self-knowledge, atmajnana, or pure devotion. What are those things that have to be done or being described in the next few slokas, 50 to 50, 51 to 57? There, the Lord described several things we have to do after achieving purity of mind. How? By doing all our work as worship. So, do we follow the steps? First step is to purify the mind, make it free from lust, anger, greed, pride, jealousy, fear, etc. How to do that one? Doing all work as worship. First step. With the purity of mind achieved, then we can we have to do several more things to achieve God realization, self-knowledge, or Atmajnana, or pure devotion. Those are the highest goals. So what are those things to be done with a pure mind are being described in this 51 to 57. So let us do 50. Siddhim prapto yatha brahma tathapnoti nibodhame samasenaiva kaunteya nishtha jnanasya ya para. Nibodhame, from me, please learn, understand. Bhagavan is saying to Arjuna, please, from me, samasenaiva, briefly I'm going to explain. A few simple things. Briefly, the Lord is going to explain what has to be done with a pure mind. Samasenaiva, ya jnanasya para nishtha, that supreme achievement of knowledge, self-knowledge. Knowledge here means self-knowledge, not worldly knowledge. Paravidya. How to see that supreme knowledge of the self? Knowledge of self means I am a Brahman, I am not the body mind. That is highest goal of jnanis. For devotees, pure devotion is the highest goal. Either of them can be achieved by purity of mind. Purity of mind is achieved by doing all work as worship. This is the sequence of things we have to understand. Siddhim praptaha, achieving purity of mind, as explained in 1846. Yatha brahma apnoti, tat me nibodha. How to achieve Brahma, that you learn from me, me nibodha. Samasenaiva, briefly I'm going to explain how to achieve self-knowledge, Brahmajnana, by purifying the mind, and what else to be done after with the purity of the mind. So the translation is, know from me briefly how one made fit for discipline of knowledge reaches Brahman, the supreme consummation of knowledge, O Arjuna. Jnanasya para nishtha, supreme goal of life is self-knowledge or pure devotion. With the devotion not mentioned here, I'm adding that one. Because everybody is not interested in self-knowledge. People are interested in knowing God. Devotion to God makes more sense, appeals more to many people. So we can include that also. So what to do? Next step. Several things have to be done. Those are described in 51 to 57. All of these have come before. Nothing really is new. 18th chapter is a review. It brings together all these various things we studied in different contexts in the earlier chapters. So what is to be done? 51. Steps to be taken with pure mind. Buddhya vishuddhaya yukto dhrityatmanam niyamya cha shabdadin vishayan stektva ragadveshau yudasya cha. Having done all these things, what are they? Vishuddhaya buddhya, with a purified mind. How to purify the mind? Doing all work as worship. With a purified mind, vishuddhaya bhuktya yuktaha, atmanam dhritya niyamya. Niyama means control. Atman means body, mind, sense organs. Here. Dhritya means with steadiness, resolution. With firm resolution, I'm going to keep my mind pure. I'm not going to yield to desires, anger, etc. With that firm resolution, purifying the mind. Atmanam niyamya, controlling the mind with firm resolution. Dhritya. If you don't have firm resolution, sometimes you do, sometimes we neglect. Slackening comes. No, Dhritya means with unwavering resolution, I'm going to control the mind. That with that resolution, Atmanam niyamya, controlling body, mind, senses, with a pure mind, vishuddhaya bhuktya. Next thing is Shabdadin Vishayam Stektva. Vishaya means all sense objects, such as objects of sight, beautiful form, and color, shape, and size bring us pleasure. As beautiful, very pleasant sounds that bring us pleasure. Shabda, Rupa, Spadda, Rupa, Rasa means taste. Gandha means fragrance, brings us pleasure. Sparsha means touch, brings us pleasure. These are all Vishayas, objects of sense organs. Vishayan, Shabdadin, beginning with sound, etc. All the five Vishayas, sense objects, Tyaktva, giving up attachment to them. Sense object we cannot give up completely. Some objects are necessary, but without attachment, dealing with sense objects. Shabdadin Vishayan Tyaktva. Next one, Raga Dvesha Vyudasya, giving up attachment and aversion. Raga means attachment, Dvesha means hatred. We have strong feelings. I hate this one. I like this one very much. Either too much attachment to something or somebody, or too much dislike, hatred to something or somebody. That should be given up. Everything is seeing the same self in all, practicing same-sightedness. Shabdadin Vishayam Stiktva Ragadvesha Vyudasya cha, giving up attachment and aversion. Raga Dvesha. That is one of several things already there. The next slokas, more things are listed to be done. Vivekta sevi lagvashi yatavakaya manasaha dhyana yoga paro nityam vairagyam samupasritaha. With a pure mind, we have to do all these things. Vivekta sevi, it has come already before. What is Vivekta sevi means? A person who resorts to solitude. Vivikta sevi. Solitude means prayer alone, without any entanglement with other people and activities and phone call and all these things. Should keep them aside for some time. In solitude, in private, you have to pray to God. When you pray to God, go into closet and pray to God. He will open. He will reward you in the open, the Bible says. Not in public. Everybody should see that I am praying, that not for show. It's purely between me and God, my prayer. There's no other third person need be there. Vivikta sevi, resorting to solitary places. What happens? Ordinarily, people resort to crowds. When they go for some music performance, lot of people, tens of thousands of people, or in a sports stadium, some NFL game is going on, 30,000-40,000 people are gathered there. So there, how can you concentrate your mind? Your mind goes to what is happening. Sense objects, activities happening, you enjoy that one. Your team makes a point, you become very happy. Your team loses, you become unhappy. All that is. Vivikta sevi means resorting to solitude for prayer. Too much attachment to crowds, involvement in crowds makes the mind agitated. So many people making so much noise that agitates the mind, does not make the mind calm. Last year in Houston, there was this big stampede. Some rap musician, something was performing some rap music performance, and 50,000 people went there to that auditorium. And they all bought expensive tickets. It was not cheap, $1,000 per ticket. And if you buy from a scalper, it will be even more than that. They all went there spending that much money. So many people, so much crowd. And there was a stampede, and 10 or more people died in that stampede, and many more people got injured. Injured means some of the men got severe injuries, disability, losing a hand or foot or something. So why? That enjoyment in the crowd. The excitement is there. So many people gathering together, all yelling, crowding, screaming together. That excitement people want. That's not good for spiritual seekers. Vivikta sevi means we should resort to solitary places where calmness, no distraction from other people, activities, phone call, email, all this texting and everything should be kept aside for some time. Vivikta sevi. Lagvashi, it also came in the 6th chapter. Moderation in food. Nati atashna, nati ashna tastu yogosti, manashnataha. But there is no yoga for a person who eats too much or a person who eats too little. Moderation eating, all those things he stop. Lagvashi, with moderate food. Not too little food, then we don't have strength. Not too much food, then tamas will come, sleep will come. Lagvashi with light food, just enough food. Yatava kayamanasaha, this comes in again and again. Yata means controlling, vak means speech, kaya means body, sense organs, manasa means mind. Manas means mind. So controlling body, sense organs and mind, resorting to solitary places, and eating very light food. If you eat too much food, heavy meal, then you feel sleepy, can't meditate. Then next one is Dhyana Yoga Paraha Nityam, always intent on meditation, Dhyana Yoga. Meditation on the self or on personal God. You can meditate on a personal God, your chosen ideal, Rama or Krishna or whatever you can meditate on that form, or you can meditate on the self. I am the Atma, like that, whichever. Jnana Yoga Paraha Nityam, always engaged in meditation. Vairagyam Samapasthitaha, resorting to dispassion. Vairagya means detachment. This is mine, this will give me happiness, accumulating things, property, money, possession, all these things will make me happy. I want to get more of this. That's not vairagya. There is attachment, greed. That is totally forbidden for spiritual seekers. Vairagya means the Lord has already given me whatever I need. I don't need anything more. Whatever comes on its own, with that I am happy. Yadricha labha santushtaha, 422. That is renunciation of anything that is unwanted. Vairagyam samapashitaha, resorting to vairagya, dispassion. These are all things to be done with a pure mind. Then sloka number 53. More things have to be done. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodam parigraham vimuchya nirmamashantaha Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. By doing all these practices, a person achieves the status of Brahman, Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. What more things have to be done? Ahankaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodam, parigraham, vimuchya. Vimuchya means giving up. Giving up ahankara, egotism. I am such a great person, I have so much money, I have so much knowledge, all this feeling of I, that is ahankara. Ahankaram, balam. Balam means force. Physical force without control, without restraint is very harmful. In the 7th chapter, Sri Krishna says, Bala is necessary. Bala means strength is necessary. But the strength must be not brute strength. Strength must be sattvic strength, free from attachment and desire and anger. Kamarag vivarjitam balam. Balam combined with lust, kama, with attachment, raga, that can be destructive. It destroys the person who has this kind of uncontrolled this balam strength without feeling of renunciation and what is right, what is wrong. That destroys the person and that creates trouble for other people too. Bala is necessary when it is free from kama raga vivarjitam. That is. Balam, darpam. Darpam means pride. Kamam, krodam, parigraham. Kamam means desire, uncontrolled desire. Dharmic desire is okay. Some desires are good. Desire to become a better person, desire to practice more devotion, desire to help somebody who is in need without expecting anything in return. These are all good desires, sattvic desires. But desire to achieve more power, more wealth, all this, that is all not good desire. Kamam, tyaktva, krodam, anger. We know that one. Anger is destructive. Krodam, parigraham. Parigraha means acquiring things which are not necessary. Aparigraha means not acquiring things which are not necessary. Minimum required things only we should keep. More than that, anything extra will only create more attachment and more anxiety, more worry. How much do we need? How many clothes do we need? How much space do we need? How much money do we need? Whatever is necessary for a decent life, that's all. More than that does not bring more happiness. After meeting basic needs, if you have more things, then that extra things do not bring extra happiness. This only creates attachment and worry, anxiety, etc. So, parigraham, vimuchya, giving up all these things. Vimuchya means giving up which one? Ahankaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodam, parigraham, giving up all these things. Nirmamaha, giving up notion of I and mine. We always like to say, I am such a person, I did this, I did that one, this is mine, I and mine. That's not really good. There's no such thing as I and mine, only he. Bhakta says, not I, but thou, O Lord. Jnani says, not I, but Brahman. That little I ego is harmful to spiritual seekers. Nirmama Shanto. Shantam is remaining calm and peaceful under all circumstances. Such a person who does all these things, what happens? Brahma bhuyaya kalpate, becomes fit for attaining the status of Brahman. That all these disciplines described in the previous 3 slokas, they have to be practiced after achieving purity of mind by doing all work as worship. Then what happens if we do all these disciplines with a pure mind? Oh, there's more things to be done. 54. Brahmabhota prasannatma nasochati na kankshati samasarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labate param. That person achieves pure devotion. Param bhaktim labate. Pure devotion will come, knowledge will come. Both will come. Brahmabhota means one who achieves self-knowledge, that I am Brahman. The highest thing. If a person achieves that one, prasannatma, with a tranquil mind. Atma here means mind. Prasanna means very pleasing, pleasant, tranquil, calm, peaceful mind. Some people have very rajasic tendencies. They become so angry sometimes. They have so much desire, they have so much energy, they can't sit quiet, they have to do this and that. Rajasic tendency. Sattvic tendency means remaining calm and peaceful. Always peaceful disposition. That is prasannatma nasochati nakankshati. Does not either grieve nor desire for anything. Shoka means grief. Something very dear to us we lose and then we become grief-stricken. Or something that we don't have, we want to get it, that is desire, kanksha. Kanksha means desire. Free from shoka, grief and desire, nasochati nakankshati, samaha sarveshu bhuteshu, remaining equanimous towards all beings. in everyone, the same divinity resides. So everyone is important. Everyone is the abode of the divine. Cultivating that attitude. That was explained in chapter 5 and 6. How to remain equanimous, same-sighted towards all beings. People are so different from one another. They are so different from each other. And some people we like very much. Some people we don't like very much because so different from each other. They behave in different way. But here, if you want self-knowledge, you should see samam sarveshu bhuteshu, equanimous towards all beings. How can we do that one? Disregarding the differences in their behavior, appearance, action, etc., seeing the divine presence in all, which is common to all, then we can be same-sighted towards all beings. It was explained in 2 slokas earlier, chapter 5 and 6. How to remain equanimous, same-sightedness, how to practice. Chapter 5, sloka number 18. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shunuchaiva shvapakecha pandita samadarshinaha. Pandita means a knowledgeable person. Samadarshinaha, they are same-sighted people. They look upon everybody alike, seeing the same divine in everyone. Vidya Vaniya Sampanne Brahmane. Brahmana is a knower of Brahman who is endowed with Vidya Vaniya, knowledge and humility, best human being. And the other extreme is Sunichaiva Sapakecha. Sapaka means a worst human being, not having any knowledge, not having any education or culture, and somehow subsisting by eating dog's meat, etc. Worst human being. Best human being, worst human being. Vidyavani Sampane Brahmane. In between, animals also come. Gavi, go means cow, cattle. Hastini and elephants also. Same divinity is there. Shuni in dogs also. Sapaka in the worst human being. Worst human being. In all of them, seeing the same divine presence, remaining same-sightedness, practicing same-sightedness towards all. That is what he says here. Samam sarveshu, samas sarveshu bhuteshu. Then what happens such a person? Madbhaktim paramam labate. Madbhaktim labate param. We are doing 5. We are doing 1854. Such a person achieves supreme devotion to me. See, both will come. Self-knowledge will come. Atmajnana will come. Supreme devotion, pure bhakti also comes. So they're not really different. When the end result comes, they are same. But in the path, there are differences in the practices. Brahma bhota prasannatma nashochati na kankshati samas sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labate param. Becoming Brahman, Brahmabhutaha, with a tranquilized mind, prasannatma, nasochati nakangshati, becoming neither craving nor desiring. The same towards all, samasarveshu bhuteshu. Then such a person wins supreme devotion to me. Madbhaktim labate param. Supreme devotion will come, self-knowledge will come. If you do all these disciplines listed in the previous 3 slokas, after achieving purity of mind by doing all work as worship of God. That is the conclusion. The last sloka in this segment is next one, 55. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavam yaschasmi tattvataha tato mam vishato tato mam tattvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. He comprehends me, what my extent is, who I am, thus knowing me in truth, he enters into me. He means who? A person, he or she, who has achieved purity of mind through by doing all work as worship, and we practiced all the previous virtues described in the last 3-4 slokas. Such a person, bhaktya mam abhijanati. Abhijanati means knows me very well, will know me very well, bhaktya by devotion. By path of devotion, mam abhijanati will know me very well. Yavan, what is my extent? God is infinite. God is not limited, infinite. Yavan, yes, ask me, who am I? What is the nature of God? That will come, that experience will come if we do all these things after purifying the mind. Tato mam tattvato jnatva, then knowing me as I am, actual knowledge of God, not as perceived, not as imagined, but as I am, tattvata, as I am, knowing God. Vishate tadanantaram, he enters into me. That means we become merged in the divine. That's the ultimate goal. Giving up the individual, limited individual identity, merging with the divine and becoming one with the divine, that's the ultimate goal of human life. This is explained with the help of an analogy in other Upanishad. Just as a river flowing in different directions, following its own course, eventually reaches the ocean and becomes one with the ocean. In the same way, the seeker of self-knowledge, following various paths, doing all these practices, what happens? Becomes united with the divine and becomes one with the divine. That's the goal of human life. So we'll stop here. Bhaktya, sloka number 55. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanyascha tattvataha tato mam tattvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. Such a person comprehends me, what my extent is, what I am thus knowing, what I am thus knowing me in truth, he enters into me. Mam vishate means enters into me means he becomes one with the divine. Just like the ocean, just like the river becomes one with the ocean, then there is no longer the river. The river has a limited identity. Only one river, maybe a few hundred feet, 1,000 feet wide, and one course which follows. That's a limited identity, river. But when it merges into ocean, it gives up its limited identity and becomes one with the ocean. Only ocean remains. In the ocean, there is no separate compartment. This Ganga River, this Yamuna River, this is Mississippi River. The ocean is only one expanse of water. So in the same way, each individual seeker who seems to be separate at this level, when he reaches God, we all merge in God, we become one with the divine. That's the culmination of human life. So let us stop here. I shall say the closing prayer. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. All if you stay well, and God willing, we shall see you next week.
Swamiji, I have a question.
Wait 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Swamiji, could you repeat the question too? Would you be able to repeat the question?
Yeah, I will. Okay. Ready.
Okay, so the question is, I saw this post in the WhatsApp of the Vedanta Center. It says, when tolerance crosses the limit, intolerance becomes dharma. Can you explain this a little more and also give some practical example of how this is possible in our daily lives?
Where is this?
It's there on the WhatsApp group, it came along with the meeting invite. Devi ji sent it.
Oh. When tolerance becomes?
When tolerance crosses the limit,
Hmm.
intolerance becomes dharma, it says.
Yeah. If you replace intolerance by action, that will easy to understand. You have to practice tolerance, deeksha. When somebody gives some trouble, we don't have to right away retaliate. You have to allow practice deeksha, forbearance for some time. But how long depends. If the people take advantage of you, see you as an easy target and keep on giving you more trouble, then at some point you have to say, hey, stop, this much and no far. You have to stand up for your rights and be firm. Sri Ramakrishna explained this, hiss but not bite. If you keep on tolerating what everybody does, then you will become a doormat and you can't achieve anything. They will keep on giving you trouble, pushing you more and more. So at some point, you have to decide at what point. It depends on the circumstance. You have to say this far and no more. You have to stand up for what is right, what your rights are. Then you have to protect yourself. Without anger or hatred, firm action you have to take. That's what I understand from that one.
And this is true for any kind of this one, right? Any kind of whether it's a friend, office colleague, or any relationship as well.
Yeah, if somebody, whether a friend or a family member or a co-worker, keeps on pushing you, up to some point you can tolerate and accept it and try to bear it. But when the limit is reached, then you have to stand up and say, this far and no more. Without anger and hatred, you have to stand firm your ground and protect your rights.
Now, each person has their own limits, right?
Yes.
So is there a sign?
Mm.
Is there a sign saying, okay, enough is enough? When is that? Is there something like that? Or is it just for each person?
You have to decide how far tolerance is reasonable and when to retaliate. That you have to individually decide depending on the circumstances. Some people, for really people who have reached the goal of God realization, it doesn't bother them at all. The Ramana Maharshi's example I gave before, Gajanan Maharaj's example I gave before, they were beaten but they didn't retaliate. But we can't be like that. A householder has a different duty because householder has a duty to protect the family members and property and everything. In the ashram also, we have to protect ourselves because this is building is there, computers are there, our statue is there. We have to protect all these things. We can't be like everybody do whatever they want to do. At some point, we should say no. So we have duties to protect our property, our safety, and facilities we have. Just God's property, we can't let it be destroyed. How far we should wait and when to retaliate depends on the circumstances. But for God-realized people who don't see any other person, everything is Brahman, then there is nothing to protect. There is nothing to safeguard. So even their body, mind also, it is just like a garment. If it goes, it goes. That is explained in Vivekananda. For a person who has self-knowledge, there is no resistance at all. No matter what anybody does, because it is not happening to him. If somebody comes and takes away my garment, I don't bother that much. I can take another garment. Like that one. For them, the body is a garment. That is explained in one sloka in Vivekananda. I think it is 509. There, the Jnani takes this position, which we cannot take, Jnani's position. Jnani says, whatever happens to the body, mind, Jaleva api, Sthaleva api, Lutatu esha jadatmakaha na aham vilipye tadharmai jatadharmair nabho yatha. Let the body fall in water, jalevapi lutatu. Let the body mind on land, stalevapi lutatu. Tadharmai, by its property, by its condition, what happens to the body. Aham navilipye, I am not affected because I am not the body. This happened to this Avaduta, Swami Brahmarupananda Saraswati. That some sultan took a sword and cut his hand, it didn't bother him at all. But can we be like that? We are not at that stage. So we have to take precautions and protect. We have to take preventive measures so that that thing doesn't happen. Remedial measures when it happens. Then you have to react at some point. But a jnani who has no body consciousness, he says, may the body mind fall in water or land or whatever happens to it. I am not affected by what happens to the body. Aham tadharme na vilipye. That dharma means condition, status. Whatever happens to the body doesn't affect me. So I'm Atman. But we can't say that one. For a household, there are rules. You have to protect your property, install security system, call 911. But for a sannyasi, there's nothing to protect. He lives under a tree. What can a robber take from him? Nothing. So depends on the nature of the type of the person and the nature of the circumstances. At some point, we do have to react.
Thanks, Swamiji. And is that like, we still keep trying to spiritually progress at the same time as well, right?
Yes, if you do this without hatred, just to protect and safeguard the property you are responsible for. Like in our ashrama, we have this huge building here in Maryland, and 3 buildings are there, and furniture is there, God's statue, murti is there, and shrine and office, computer. All we have to protect them. They can't say, sannyasis, everybody can do anything. No. This is Sri Ramakrishna's property. We are responsible for it. For its safeguard, for its safety, we are responsible. We have to protect it. So at night, we put the alarm system and we protect. That is our duty. Otherwise, we'll be failing in our duty if we don't protect. But for a sannyasi, there's nothing to safeguard, no possessions, there's nothing to protect. What will the robber take from him? Like that one. So it depends.
That was very clear solution. Thank you, Swamiji.
Very good. You're welcome.